Humans are sometimes dealing with the worst and scary pandemic that warrants the health of the public, but without a doubt, we can say it was not for the first time. Welcome to the Facticity, and today we're going to enlist the top 10 worst pandemics in history. And number 10, COVID-19. The World Health Organization announced the crisis of coronavirus as a pandemic on March 11. The most recently discovered coronavirus caused this ongoing infectious global pandemic, COVID-19. The researchers unknown about the virus until it started in Wuhan, city of China, in December 2019. So far, around 2.91 million people have died from this outbreak. World Health Organization reported 135 million cases in more than 188 countries and territories. The Russian flu, also called Asiatic flu, was also one of the worst influenza pandemics. The name of the Russian flu comes from its first recorded case was in Russia. It reached other continents in just 4 months because of the population's fast growth in the 19th century. More than 1 million individuals died due to this pandemic. One of the worst 7 global cholera outbreaks in history originated in India and spread through other countries such as Asia, North America, Europe, and Africa. In 1854, cholera took the lives of over 23,000 people in Great Britain. Approximately 10,000 of those deaths were from London. Smallpox is one of the worst pandemics in history. Humans can only spread the disease that was endemic to Asia, Europe, and Arabia. The smallpox virus arrived with the first European explorers to the New World, where individuals were not immune to this disease. The death rates of the modern-day Mexico and the United States were much higher than those of the Old World. AIDS is also one of the most devastating pandemics in human history. Researchers discovered the human immunodeficiency virus and acquired immunodeficiency syndrome in the early 1980s. This virus killed an estimated 35 million people. We are still battling HIV originating from a chimpanzee virus from Central and West Africa. It was the first to act as a mysterious illness that primarily infecting gay men in the United States urban regions. In the 20th century, another pandemic was the Asian flu. It was one of the most popular influenza pandemics in history. The origin of Asian flu was in China in early 1956 and lasted until 1958. The outbreak was responsible for an estimated 1.1 million deaths worldwide. Spanish flu is one of the worst influenza pandemic in history has ever witnessed. While approximately 500 million people infected with Spanish flu pushed the numerous indigenous communities to the brink of extinction. This disease's death toll is put anywhere from 17 million to 50 million as per the estimates. Almost 25 million of those deaths occurred in the outbreak's first 25 weeks. The number 3, Plague of Justinian. The disease got its name from the ruler of the Byzantine Empire, Justinian, at that time. In the year 541 Common Era, the Plague of Justinian killed up to a quarter of the Byzantine Empire and Mediterranean port cities. It left its mark on the world at a point, killing as many as 5,000 people every day. Black rats on the grain boats and carts of Egypt brought a pestilence to the Eastern Roman Empire. When we talk about the plague, we are talking about this Antonine plague usually. It is one of the oldest and deadliest pandemics in history that occurred in 165 to 180. The outbreak was far dangerous than the newly arrived COVID-19, but the province survived from it. The Romans brought this plague back home with them after a war against Parthia. They spread this disease unknowingly, but it took over 5 million people and destroyed the Roman army. And at number 1, here is Black Death. Black Death, generally known as the Great Bubonic Plague, is one of the most popular devastating pandemics. Some scholars suggest that it decimated more than half of the population of Europe in the mid-1300s. The Black Death, one of the top worst pandemics, had killed almost 75 to 200 million people in Eurasia and North Africa. The plague was very infectious among people from there. So that's all we have for you today. Thank you all for watching this video. Hit the like and subscribe button and put that notification bell so you never miss an update.